The last time we saw the Canadiens in action was Monday in Buffalo when that 6-game winless streak finally came to an end. The offense exploded for a season-high 7 goals as Montreal picked up its first win since October 27th. Tonight, the Habs are in Minnesota looking to wrap up this road trip with another W. St. Paul is the final stop on this 4-game trip, but the Canadiens have had plenty of issues getting wins at XL Energy Center. Their last was way back in March of 2011. They come into tonight with a little confidence boost, and thanks to his 2-goal, 2-assist performance Monday, Nick Suzuki surpassed 300 points for his NHL career. Montreal looking to win back-to-back games for just the second time this season, but it won't come easy. The Wild, one of the top teams in the league, led by one of the NHL's leading scorers, Kirill the Thrill Kaprizov. And with that, we welcome you here inside the TSN studio, and you are watching Molson Canadiens Hockey. I'm your host, Laura Dykin, joined alongside our analyst, Frankie Corrado. And how big was Monday's win? Well, not only did it snap that 6-game winless streak for the Habs, but it was also the end of a 4-game losing streak on the road. They have been road warriors as of late with 6 of their last 7 games on the road, including the last 4. And as you can see, they now have a chance to head home with back-to-back road wins under their belt as they begin that 4-game homestand Saturday against the Blue Jackets. Let's get you all set for this Canadiens Wild game. And for that, off to Mike Johnson and Brian Mudryk.
Laura, great production for the Montreal Canadiens the last game in Buffalo. Nick Suzuki, 2 goals, 4 points. Juraj Slafkovsky, 3 assists as well. But, Mike, this is a very tough building and a very tough team tonight.
Completely different animal for the Montreal Canadiens going against the Minnesota Wild, one of the very best teams in the NHL defensively in front of their own nets. To play well against the Wild, it's going to be a challenge no matter what your game is like. But to have a chance, you have to be so engaged physically, because the Wild are big, they're strong. They make you work for every inch of ice you're trying to get out there, but also mentally, because Minnesota is incredibly disciplined within their system. If you get loose, if you get careless, if you miss assignments, they make you pay. So yes, great win, good positive energy for Montreal right now, but they know to be locked in to have a chance against the very good Minnesota Wild tonight.
To give you an example how long ago they won in this building, Alex Auld was the winning goalie. PK Subban had a hat trick in an 8-1 win for Montreal. So it's been a hot minute, Mav. Laura.
Again, March of 2011. And, you know, in an effort to get that offense moving, head coach Martin St. Louis made a couple changes to the lines against the Sabres. Slafkovsky went to the top line. Caulfield dropped to the second. And, hey, got the desired results as 7 different Habs had multiple points in that 7-5 win. No tinkering, no changes from what we saw that Monday against the Sabres. Was it a perfect game against Buffalo, Frankie?
No, it was not.
But they did just enough, and you can't have any argument with what we saw on the offensive side of things. And I think most importantly, the stars were finally the stars for Montreal.
And that's something that's so important for the Montreal Canadiens. And now the challenge becomes for the star players. And really, you look at 2 guys that are going to lead the way. Cole Caulfield has been so consistent this year. But Nick Suzuki and Juraj Slafkovsky have had a stretch of the season where the points weren't coming and the game didn't look like it was coming easy to them. It wasn't their normal game. When Suzuki's at his best, there's pace. He has the puck. For Slafkovsky, there's some drive in his game. And listen, you're playing against the Buffalo Sabres. It's a shootout type game, but you get these guys on the board, and that's so important. Now, the next step becomes, can you be consistent enough that on a night-to-night basis, Laura, you can be better than the other team's best players? That is who the Montreal Canadiens look to on any given night to be consistent. And so now you had your game where you get your points. Now you have to find a way to continue that. One thing that has been really consistent this year, that has been a bright spot, has been the power play. For me, the biggest reason why that is because they have a plan. Face-offs, you can see what they're trying to do. You can see that there's plan B if plan A doesn't work. And Cole Caulfield has really been the marquee player on this power play. He has found different ways to get his shot off, whether it's at the side of the net, the little tip plays, the one-timer, the fake one-timer where he walks it to the middle of the ice. The power play looks like it has a plan, executing, and it's been the most consistent part of the Montreal Canadiens season so far?
Consistently good at losing to the Minnesota Wild has been the theme of the story as of late. I said 2011 was the last time they won in Minnesota. 2019 was the last time they got a win, period, as they've lost 7 straight to the Wild, and 16 of the last 17 matchups they are due. We'll drop the puck on this Thursday nighter right after this.
Molson Canadiens Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Canadiens coming off his first win since October 26th. I mean, he played just 60 minutes. He made 4 saves in relief of Caden Primo on Monday for the victory, but he will take it. And yes, Philip Gustafsson for the Wild. He sports a 1-2-1 record with a 3.64 goals against in his career against Montreal. A tandem with Marc-Andre Fleury allowed the 3rd fewest goals this season at just 2.53 per game. Oh boy. All right, just moments away from this one getting underway. And we said, Frankie, the Wild present an interesting challenge for the Montreal Canadiens. They are pretty solid across the board.
Not going to be easy. They don't give up much, and like Mike Johnson said, they will pounce on you when you have the chance, but Montreal has to hope that they found some confidence out of that game against the Buffalo Sabres, where the offense started to come to some of their best players.
Offensive ranks, well, they're averaging 3.53 goals per game. That's good for 7th in the NHL. All right, without further ado, let's get you to Minnesota. Wild and Canadiens on tap here. Again, here's Brian and MJ.
Laura, welcome to the State of Hockey. XL Energy Center, Montreal Canadiens, Minnesota Wild. What a start for the Wild through 15 games. Their best start in franchise history, led by this guy, Kaprizov. He is a rock star, 11 points in 6 career games versus Montreal.
If the season ends today, there's your NHL MVP. And it's not even that close. That's how great Kaprizov has been on one of the hottest teams in the league. The offense runs through 97. The good news is he's one of the most gifted offensive players in the league. Marty St. Louis group will have their hands full trying to corral the first line, Kaprizov and Zuccarello.
For head coach John Hines, his player Kaprizov second in NHL scoring. He's got 20 points at even strength, tied with Nate McKinnon for tops in the NHL in that department. The Montreal Canadiens ending their 6-game winless skid, that big win Monday versus Buffalo, underway here on this Thursday night. There's Samuel Montembeault. He gets the start out to play it. Puck to his right in the corner. Dvorak trying to chip it free. Montreal trying to get a win in this building. They have been very tough to come by. Haven't won here since 2011. Dvorak chips it up that right side. Milton kept it in, jammed in by the Wild. Matheson, Dvorak back again defensively. Mike Matheson in the corner. He'll free the puck, and Montreal finally out of the zone. Intended for Josh Anderson. Faber knocked it down, and the Wild come quickly at wrister. Steered aside by Montembeault all the way to the Minnesota line. Gallagher tracking after the puck. Brendan Gallagher on a 4-game point streak coming into tonight for Montreal.
Gaudreau finds the puck. Wild will start their first change 1 minute in to this game on this Thursday night. Lane Hudson, he'll collect the puck. Suzuki, the pop pass for Kirby Dach. As the top line once again, Slafkovsky, Suzuki, and Dach trying to get it going offensively. And they would love a goal here in enemy territory to get things going against a team that's been very good in the NHL to start the season.
The good news about the bad record against the Wild, none of these Montreal players have been around long enough to have it bother them. It's just, they're news to them.
I think Gooley was joking this morning. He was, 9 years old the last time they beat this team?
And he would have no idea and would not care. Doesn't come into this game with any less confidence other than the fact that Minnesota's been good this year.
Analytics would say, Mike, that they're due, right? Montreal's due.
Listen,
there
at
you go.
some point.
Off the boards, Montembeault forced to play it. Montreal wrapping up a 4-game road trip. It was nice, though, to get home in between the game, as icing will be charged versus Montreal. These key parts of the game are presented by Napa Auto Parts.
And for the Montreal Canadiens, they need to be physical in front of both nets. Offensively to try to get to the net to score goals, but defensively to try to keep the Wild away from them. And Minnesota, they're good at so many things, but not off the rush. Second worst team in the league off the rush generating chances. They got to find a little bit more pace to their offense.
Evans, Rossi line up to take the draw. Marco Rossi, second in rookie goals, fifth in rookie scoring last year, where rookies across the board for the Wild were second in scoring last season. Of course, Faber and Rossi a big part of that. Zuccarello trying to free the puck. Montreal controls. 2 minutes got here in this first period. Jake Evans through center. He'll chip it in. In comes Cole Caulfield. 12 goals on the season. He's tied with 5 other players for the Rocket Richard Trace early on. Caulfield chasing after the puck. Up quickly for Kaprizov as he is in. He's your focus, Mike, to start the game. He's got to be Montreal's focus as well tonight.
If they would have circled one player on the whiteboard before the game, it would have been 97. The challenge is every team does that, and he still finds a way to go out and score. He's such an excellent skater, strong on his edges, and he's just hard to handle.
First player in Wild history to get 200 points in under 200 games, and he just keeps on cruising. Kaprizov throws it into the slot area. Couldn't jam it through, and it's Condotta. The backhand flip to space for Armia. Stripped of the puck. Armia's got to get back on side as Condotta plays it back to the D pair. Arbor Jacka paired up with a pass at the blue line, knocked down as him and Struble paired up tonight. Lacko picks it up in the corner. Backhand feed right in front. It came to Jacki. No changes to the lineup other than Montembeault getting a start from that win in Buffalo. Chisholm sends it across, drive from distance, knocked down as Usmanov took a shot, and the Habs will flip that to center. Montembeault came in relief, made 4 saves, and got the victory. It was a tough afternoon for Caden Primo in Buffalo.
You take the efficient win if you're Montembeault. Even though he didn't play much and didn't do much, you still like to add one in the W column.
The former Hab, John Merrill, will send it across. He played for Montreal in that run to the Cup final a few years ago. And great to see part of that run, Shea Weber into the Hockey Hall of Fame. A lot of the Montreal Canadiens players, including Marty St. Louis, was in the hall himself, drove up to Toronto and enjoyed the festivities. Really cool experience to watch Shea Weber go in with a number of deserving players and dignitaries and builders.
And in very Weber-like fashion, just all, excellent speech, but business-like and to the point and matter of fact, and much like the way he played.
Said he fell to his knees when he got the phone call. Just such a special experience that a lot of players and people just can't even put into words. Puck on the line, Suzuki able to chip it up ahead. In comes Kirby Dach. Faber trying to chip it away. Pass in front and steered into the corner. Good job, Matt Boldy defensively. Able to poke it into the corner. Good puck battle below the goal line and freed up to Boldy. Here's Boldy through center. He starred for the United States at the Men's World in Ostrava. Outstanding player. Teamed up with Cole Caulfield. They were teammates in that tournament. Kirby Dach the other way for Suzuki. Nick Suzuki He'll delay the backhand in. Up to the line, Matheson. Matheson tried to throw it in deep. That hit Doc. And comes to Joel Eriksson-Ek. Marcus Johansson over the blue line. Watched by Gouli. Matheson there, lost the puck. Eriksson-Ek put it right on Matheson's tape, and that allows Montreal to clear the zone. Evans, little backhand dish, and Montreal starts to change.
It's been a patient game on both sides. The question is, Minnesota more than comfortable playing this way. This is what they do. Low event, not a lot going on. Can Montreal stay with the game plan? It's been a good start first 5-6 minutes of this game.
Wild well rested. They haven't played since Sunday, the OT loss to Chicago. One of their rare blemishes this year. And of course, Montreal not playing since Monday, that win at Buffalo. Here's David Savard. Slap pass behind the net. He was looking slot. It comes back to him as Caulfield set him up. Lane Hudson towards the net, and that hit Jake Evans. Chisholm takes a hit from Newhook. Rossi was trying to skate up ice, lost the puck. Montreal back on side. Evans bringing it in. Newhook just over his stick and swatted away by Philip Gustafsson, who gets the start tonight for Minnesota.
Look out.
Kaprizov space cutting in. Kaprizov spinning around, and Hudson got back to help out Savard.
You step up thinking you're going to play a puck out of the air, and Kaprizov just pokes it away. And Hudson almost got caught.
And Mike, one of those special players, you could feel XL Energy Center buzz when 97 gets a chance. Pretty special. Yoel Armia in offensively with Heidemann. Zach Bogosian, the veteran who won a cup in Tampa. He'll help get that to center. John Merrill. Usmadinov battling for space with Arbor Jacki. Centering feed. Lacko. Merrill. Wrist shot wide. As Lacko was barreling in. Montreal able to control. Struble fires it in for the Habs. Good start for Montreal on a road in a building that's tough to play in for them.
Against a rested team, a little ornery for having lost their last game against a team that they feel that they should beat all the time in Chicago. Absolutely.
Pass intended for Gallagher. Gallagher cutting in, and Gustafsson saw him streaking in. And Gallagher will hold. As Gallagher looking to extend his 4-game point streak. Gustafsson's been really good. A 7-2-2 start to the season, and Kaprizov, a little bit of space early, but shut down by Montreal.
Clean, affordable nuclear energy is powering economic growth for everyone. And what if...
Fry up to Gallagher. He'll jam it in. And flipped up high. Stays in play, and Foligno will jam it out.
A chance for Gouli joining the rush. Good feed from Anderson. Beat your guy back up the ice. Create an odd man rush.
Slafkovsky gets a touch at center. Up to Eriksson-Ek at his own line. Slafkovsky able to take the puck away for David Savard. Savard for Kirby Dach. Chisholm was there. Puck at center. Fired in by Johansson. Montembeault will settle it down. Plays it for Dach. Savard round the boards. There's the captain, Suzuki, who hit the 300-point mark in that game at Buffalo. Over 300 now, a 4-point game for Nick Suzuki. Slafkovsky cutting in. Had it, lost it, just onside, but Eriksson-Ek finishes the job and advances the puck. Battle at the blue line. Puck in the skates of Matt Boldy. He lost it at center to Suzuki. Brought in by Slafkovsky, coming off a 3-assist performance on Monday. Career high for him in assists, as Slafkovsky couldn't handle the pass, and Eriksson-Ek will chip that to center. Montreal starting a change. Nearly 10 minutes gone here in this first period. Matheson flips and was trying to time that right, but that'll be icing against Montreal with 10:16 to go here in the first.
Halfway through the first period, 5 shots combined only And Philip Gustafson, his best of the game on Caden Gooley, who joined the rush. Nice little pass to space here. Josh Anderson just throw it out there where he can skate into it. And he does just that. Gooley gets a pretty good look. Gustafson, he's got good numbers. 227, 919 on the year so far for Minnesota.
Turno in Montreal's territory. Middleton skates it in, zips it across, pass in front, return feed, and Hartman was looking for it. Collected and skated up ice by Jake Evans with Caulfield. Caulfield in the corner. Play behind the net. Caulfield continues to work. Caulfield, Middleton, good battle below the goal line. And cleaned up by Brock Faber. Here's Kaprizov starting the play. He'll flip to the right side. Faber cutting in. Good stick there. Gooley poked it away from him and then finishes body check. Caulfield flips to space. Newhook trying to wind up the wheels. Rossi back. Newhook will jam it in. Like you mentioned, Gustafson, he's allowed 2 or fewer goals in 8 starts this season. That's tied for first in the NHL. So the Wild getting some good goaltending from him and Marc-Andre Fleury.
He's back to the form he showed a couple years ago where he was terrific. Last year was a down year for him. But he's bounced back once again to be the #1 that they're hoping he can be consistently in Minnesota.
You wondered if Fleury might go. He's on 999 career starts.
Although he just had a big ceremony last week in Pittsburgh, so maybe he's all ceremonied out right now.
Here's Heidemann on a little 2-game point streak. Obviously over 1,000 NHL games total, but he's moving up the ranks in a lot of categories. Next appearance, he'll pass the great Patrick Roy. Here's Heidemann. Wade spins, he'll shoot it in deep. Jack-eye wrist shot, bodies in front, never found its way through. Struble in deep. Habs changing on the fly. Anderson shot trickling as Armia looking for the tip, and the Wild will flip to center.
Good idea, Armia getting away from the net, getting his stick loose, just caught a little too much of the puck, slowed it down too much before it got down to Gustafson.
And still makes your point, a combined 5 shots on goal thus far for both sides. Foligno reaching for it, played behind the net. There's Merrill, chipping it away from Gallagher for Bogosian. He'll play it to his line. Cross-ice pass, there's Gaudreau. He'll flip in. In comes Hartman in the corner. Hartman for Foligno and just over his stick. Habs skate up in numbers. Gallagher. And just offside. A little too quick there was Lane Hudson. 7:45 remaining. First of 2 meetings this season between Montreal and Minnesota.
We know Minnesota's off to a good start, but it's better than that. It's a historically great start for the Wild to their season under John Hynes. Currently, after 15 games, more points than they have ever had in the history of the franchise. And I don't think a lot of people had Minnesota getting off to this kind of start. yes, they'd be competitive. Yes, they'd make you work for it. But John Hynes is maximizing what his roster can do. And to make matters better, this is the last year of the $15 million dead cap hit of Zach Parise and Ryan Suter. So things get even better next year when they free up all that money.
And Mike, 53 goals for the Wild in those 15 games, 7th in goals per game in the NHL. Kaprizov, he'll drop it off, get it back, tries to center. Rossi, spun around, Gooley there to help. There's Suzuki with him in the corner. Suzuki trying to free, he can't. Laid up for Middleton, he'll drop it back. Rossi to the point, wrist shot, Faber right on, hit his own player in front.
I got Zuccarello in the midsection.
And he is still down, Mike.
That was a Faber wrister. I caught Zuccarello, the veteran who still can make it happen. Just under a point a game. Such an important player because of his connection with Kaprizov. And Faber wants it. Zuccarello's all by himself. It's a good spot, but midsection. And hopefully he will be okay. Looks like he's going to head right to the dressing room. And we'll watch to see what his status will be the rest of the night. Such a pivotal player. Yes, he's a little bit older. In his late 40s, 37, late 40s, almost late 30s, 37 years old now. But still going strong in Minnesota.
A former teammate of Marty St. Louis with New York, and in asking Marty last season just about Zuccarello, said so intelligent, loves to work on his game, and a lot of respect for him still doing it in the NHL.
He's got that great chemistry, and other top players have always liked playing with Zuccarello because he's such a passer and so smart. And him and Kaprizov daily spend 15, 20, 30 minutes after practice just fooling around, playing games, little competitions, and that's the chemistry that they have, and hopefully he will be back before the end of the game.
Faber back on the puck to the right side. Faber just honored in the building for his 100th game tonight in the National Hockey League. Lane Hutson in the corner, lost it. Boldy swings it in front, nobody home. Evans for Caulfield up the left wing. Caulfield slides it in deep. Evans jumps into the mix in front. And Faber, the only guy there is Eriksson Ek. Back to Faber at center. He'll lead the rush for Boldy. Not Boldy across. Puck in the skates of Eriksson Ek, and he couldn't pull the trigger. Boldy falls from a knee. Back up top. Laid across. That drive Middleton. And it comes to Lane Hutson. He'll try to settle things down here in his own zone. Evans. That hit Eriksson Ek at center. And he'll lay it back to Faber.
If you're Montreal, make sure to keep coming back and tying up the third guy, the fourth guy, because Minnesota does activate, especially when Faber's on the ice, and they have strong sticks that come in trailing the play.
There's Trennan, checked by Arbor Jacka. Condotta there, play to the far point, across quickly. Wrist shot, and Chisholm let it go. Montembeault is ready. Under 6 to go in this first period. Yoel Armia, the backhand in, couldn't work it in deep. Chisholm has it. Chisholm. Trennan got a piece, so no icing. Montreal possesses the puck as Armia able to get it out of the zone. Little flip in by Condotta. He got spun around by two Wild players. Trennan, he'll chip and chase after the puck. Jack-Eye eyes him up, and he saw that one coming. I saw it coming, and good for Trennan. He was ready for it.
Two big boys. Forget about the puck. Let's just crash into each other and see what happens. Oof, feel that one up here.
Dvorak, drop pass. Anderson guides it in deep. There's Gallagher fighting for position. It comes to Boldy. Boldy on the puck. He'll zip it up quickly. Kaprizov put himself in offside, according to the linesman.
I think he had full control there.
Little smile from Kaprizov. Here comes the boom. Arbor Jacka laying the body there on Yakov Trennan. March 20th, 2011, the last time Montreal won at Xcel Energy Center, and you can't blame Kaiden Guhle for not knowing that.
I feel like I actually knew that we haven't won here in a while. I didn't know I was 9 years old the last time we won. But
it's 2011.
Okay, yeah, nice. Well,
I honestly saw this today on Instagram, but I couldn't understand because it was in French. So I figured it was something like that.
It's all good, whatever.
Some things are better not knowing. Ignorance can be bliss. If Slafkovsky has a little chat with Kaprizov. You know, it's been 10 years since we beat you guys. Nope, had no idea.
It is amazing, though. You know what, Mike? Some buildings or some teams, the Wild 16-1 in the last 17 meetings. Obviously, they only play twice a year.
It makes no sense because the Wild haven't been that good. Montreal hasn't been that much worse than Minnesota. And just the nature of the NHL, nobody loses that much. So it's more random than a statement on anything, but it's bizarre.
Turnover, Kirby Dach over the line, tried to drop it off. Kaprizov got back. Montreal close last season. They lost the last one in overtime. Look out into the Wild bench. And it was funny off the top, you talk about the names like Alex Aul, PK Subban, hat trick the last time, 8-1 final. But again, a lot of names not around, including John Hines. And his team missing the playoffs, Mike, last year. He was the head coach for USA at the Worlds. No intention of returning, not that he didn't like the honor, but playoff push, big time here for Minnesota.
Somehow the Central has morphed into the hardest division, though, with Dallas and Winnipeg. Charging out of the gate. Forget about what Colorado can do as well.
Hudson one-time blast, and it hit Foligno. As Foligno himself won 299 career points tonight for Marcus Foligno. Montembeault delaying. Nearly gave it away, but Hudson there. They'll start to play. Jake Evans swings it up, wanted Caulfield. A little too far, and icing against Montreal.
So we talked about this being a grinding kind of game. We're through 16 minutes of it. It's been exactly that. And Marty St. Louis would have prepared his team heading in the last couple days about what this game will feel like. This is what it feels like. There's always going to be people in front of you. Always going to be a battle for everywhere you're trying to go. And you just have to keep working through it and not get frustrated when you have 1, 2, 3 shifts without chances.
Off the draw, Faber towards the net, never got through. Now the Montreal Canadiens, Mike, are last in the NHL in shots per game, but I had to look twice. They have 1 shot recorded so far, 4:04 to go here in the first.
Kaiden Guhle almost had a breakaway on the 1 shot that they've taken.
But be patient. We've heard it from Martin St. Louis. Play the game that you have to play in front of you. Play a patient style. 0-0 game. Shots are 4-1 in favor of Minnesota. On this Thursday night as Montreal wrapping up a 4-game road swing in the state of hockey.
Looking for offense, look no further than Cole Caulfield, who entered tonight's game tied for the league lead in goals. and he's on pace for 61. Get a sense of how long it's been since Montreal's had a goal scorer that prolific. Stéphane Richer back in 89-90, 51. Vinny Damphousse in the 90s, 40. Obviously Nick Suzuki just last year, 33. But Cole Caulfield looking to join some pretty exclusive company. And it's been a while since Montreal's had a goal scorer as great as Cole Caulfield has started this year.
And less shots this year, Mike, but he's talked about it being more selective, more quality shots to keep Ozone time alive and picking his spots. Dvorak slashing for it. Puck controlled by Minnesota. Boldy for Kaprizov, trying to take Matheson. Matheson takes him down. It's one way to deal with 97.
Matheson, one of the few guys who could pivot and skate Kaprizov. That was really well done. Get to the front of him, so it's not a penalty, and you get him in the chest and knock him over.
Slafkovsky in his own zone, little backhand dish. There's Suzuki at center. Matheson spinning, moving in. Mike Matheson in the corner. Still looking for his first goal this season. Suzuki. He'll lay it across. Nice move, cutting in, and the shot blocked as Doc tried to power in from the far boards. Faber the other way towards Montembeault. He'll stop it with a stick, takes a look, and Montembeault, look out, reverses, but no harm done.
You know, patient Minnesota is. Yes, they're physical, but they do not pressure unless they're in a good spot. They just back up.
Struble rips it in. In comes Joel Armia. Merrill reverses play. By Struble all the way down the ice. Lacko trying to speed in, not fast enough. And a face-off in front of Philip Gustafsson.
John Hines is coaching what he has. I think that's a sign of a good coach. They have philosophies, they have ideas, but you also have to look at your roster, figure out how does this group have success, which might not be the same with a different kind of team. And he has gone defense, passive, checking, relying on his star player to drive the offense, and it's working.
I have respect for Montreal, talking with the media today, saying a lot of snipers on that team. He saw Cole Caulfield up close and personal at the Men's Worlds for Team USA. Joel Armia. Up the ice, he'll poke it up ahead, backhand it in. Condot on the forecheck.
Can you get the pressure there? Can you? That's a good job by Merrill, but that's what you're gonna have to do. Get in on the forecheck and try to turn the puck over, or at least stop it.
Brad Husmadinov tried to find Jakub Lacko in stride just over his stick. Chisholm jams it back in. Right to Lane Hudson, who comes in third in NHL rookie scoring, leads all rookies in ice time. And still trying to chase down the elusive first goal. Here's Gallagher in the corner. Off the board, Savard. He'll dish, Hudson, little head fake, shoots, and an easy one for Gustafsson, no traffic. And he'll swallow that up. Second shot on goal for Montreal.
You mentioned Lane Hudson, and he absolutely is in the Rookie of the Year conversation. Yes, he's third, but he's first amongst defense by a mile. He's first in ice time by a mile. And it feels like Stankoven, Michkov, Hudson, maybe Celebrini, if he plays consistently the rest of the way, will be in the running. A lot like Brock Faber was last year for Minnesota, where Connor Bedard won it in the end because he played enough games. Hudson is right in the mix.
Faber and Hughes were tied for second in rookie scoring. Faber got a couple of first place votes as well. And Dustin Wolf in Calgary you can look at too.
Yeah.
Here's Gaudreau in the corner.
I never think about goaltending.
Jamie McLennan, line one, Mike. You'd like a word with you? Chisholm, little head fake. He'll send it across. Dished in. Foligno lost it, all tangled up with Hudson. Hudson on the move. He'll drop it back. Gallagher in, shoots, and that was blocked.
That's Hudson knocking down Marcus Foligno, 2:15.
Hudson, Dvorak at the goal line. Back up to Hudson. Final minute, XL Energy Center, 0-0 score. Hudson towards the net, and no tip available. Dvorak will pick it up. Dvorak throws it in deep. Taking a look was Hartman. He'll throw it to the line. There's Foligno. Hartman over 30 goals 3 seasons ago in a breakout year.
He's a guy who really goes up and down in his game in the coach's doghouse. When he's good, he's very good. A couple suspensions mixed in over the years. He's a real emotional player.
Puck batted down at the line by Faber. Middleton controls. Goes back to Faber, who played last season, Mike, in a game over 33 minutes versus Montreal as a rookie. And he was top 10 in NHL ice time as a rookie, so he is a big star on the rise, Brock Faber.
Yeah, and Lane Hutson can take some motivation out of that. Look at that. Use your feet and use your stick to win a puck battle. No, you can't win it with your body, but you can use your feet to get yourself into spots where you can win it. And Hutson has been doing that his whole life, and you can see him still doing it in the NHL. Really well done.
Off the draw. Taking a look, Kaprizov thought about pulling the trigger. Comes back to center, there's Middleton. 10 seconds left in the period. Kaprizov, maybe one last strike. Kaprizov centers, he's been quiet so far in this period, which means a good job defensively by Montreal. Boldy, gotta be quick, time winding down, and it will. Shots 4-2 Wild. Through the first 20 minutes, it is a 0-0 game.
One of the challenges for Montreal was to be organized, disciplined, and physical. They did all of those things. Yeah, not a lot of chances, but they didn't give up much either, and that's a generally positive first period for the Canadiens.
Minnesota Wild off to a wonderful start. Their best start in franchise history through 15 games, but a quality first period for Montreal on the road. Molson Canadiens hockey on TSN. Intermission is coming up next with Laura Dykin and Frankie Corrado.
An 11th Grey Cup will go down in Vancouver on Sunday with the Argonauts taking on the Blue Bombers. Tune in at 6 Eastern, 7 Atlantic on TSN and CTV.
Excellent work. You don't need me at all. And you didn't even make it into a paper airplane afterwards.
We didn't have time for that.
The man who wears all hats here on TSN. Frankie and Laura back here with you at the intermission. I mean, we saw, 6 combined shots. We have enough time to, libero and go through every single one of them here.
We should.
But you were able to pinpoint some things that did stand out to you there in that period. Particularly Lane Hudson, and I feel it doesn't matter who the analyst is sitting next to me, whether it's you, whether it's Cheryl, whether it's Carlo. Lane Hudson always seems to be a topic of conversation. Just coming off his 4th multi-point game of his career already. He's got 10 points, puts him among the league leaders when it comes to the rookies in that category. But what stood out to you this time in that first 20 when it comes to him?
It's a lot of the same things every time, but it's no fear in who your opponent is and how that's going to dictate what you do with the puck. Lane Hudson on the blue line, one of the best blue line players in the NHL as far as defensemen. That's Kirill Kaprizov going out at him, no problem. He makes a move, he gets a shot through. This is a much bigger player in Marcus Foligno, strong on a bigger player, win a battle, get involved in the play. And then this one I really like as well. This is Kirill Kaprizov. You lose the puck, but you find a way to recover. You get some help from David Savard, but you don't give up on that play. You end up getting rid of that chance. And then this is a flashback to last Tuesday. Lane Hudson activating off the blue line. There's going to be an opportunity at the net for the Canadians, but who's the first player back on Nazem Kadri? Lane Hudson. So Lane Hudson is not afraid to go up against the best players on others' teams. He's not afraid to make plays against those players. And if the play doesn't go the way he wants it to, he will be the first player to recover and get back. He has a lot of urgency in that regard. Another good period for Lane Hudson. And we heard Brian and MJ talk about it. It was a quiet period for Kirill Kaprizov. Well, the Montreal Canadiens and Lane Hudson did a good job of making sure he wasn't able to create the time and space, the separation that he usually can, and what makes him such a dangerous player.
And here we are giving props where props are due. Monday's game is all about the offense. So far in this one, defense has been front and center for the Canadians, something we haven't always been able to say so far this season. They're the only team in the NHL who has a goals against over 4, but you wouldn't know it there. And what you notice there is that these players are starting to buy into that system a little bit more.
If you want to show that you care defensively, you're going to have to communicate that to your teammates. And I thought Juraj Slafkovsky did a really good job on the back check communicating that. Coming back into his own zone, he's the one who takes command of the situation. He takes a look, then he points it out. You can see everyone's getting on the same page, and now what that does, everyone knows there's 3 one-on-ones, and you have another layer of insulation in Nick Suzuki. And then to finish things off, Juraj Slafkovsky is going to get into this battle with Marco Rossi. He's going to initiate contact there, and that's something that's important for Slafkovsky as well, because he has to be the type of player that initiates and is not reacting second. And I thought on that situation, he does a good job commanding his way back into his own zone, and you can see there's another layer of defense there. That's something that has been very greatly missed from the Canadians, especially when they went on that 6-game slide.
But again, are they able to carry that over into the second period, to the third period, and beyond in the games to come? We'll have to wait and see. Again, we're still waiting our first goal in Minnesota between the Wild and the Canadians. When we come back, we'll put Frankie on the have or have not hot seat and get his thoughts on where he thinks Kirby Dach is best suited in the lineup.
are you doing on November 17th? I'll tell you what you're doing. You're watching Dune Prophecy, because true power begins with control. From the epic Dune universe comes the next groundbreaking original series from HBO. Dune Prophecy streams November 17th only on Crave.
November 17th, also the day of the Grey Cup, so you can watch one and then the other.
There we go.
We got it all planned out for you. It is time for our favorite segment here on Molson Canadiens Hockey, Have or Have Not. First time we're doing this together.
It's very exciting stuff.
I'm very nervous. Hopefully you're not as nervous as
I'm nervous from reading the promos.
Right, well, I nailed it. All right, let's start with Kirby Dach. That's what we kind of teased before we went to break there. We've seen him all over the lineup. Remember, he was a center for a little bit there, but he is best suited as a winger. Frankie, have or have not?
Right now, have. In the long run, we will see if he's best suited as a winger or a centerman. But for right now, him being on the wing has alleviated some of the responsibility, some of the stress that comes with playing down the middle of the ice. And there's something different about being a center iceman on a team that's a little more robust and more ready to compete. He doesn't have that in the Montreal Canadiens. So him being on the wing has freed him up to not have to worry about some of the things that come with being a centerman. And for right now, I think that's the spot for him to be in order to get up to speed and get more acclimated and get settled in coming off the ACL injury.
And like many of his teammates, on Monday, he saw himself put up some points there, and it was a 6-game pointless streak came to an end as he's still working his way back from that knee surgery early last season. All right, we know what the Habs do well. Power play has been a bright spot. We know that the Habs do not very well. Defense, goaltending at the forefront. Who is this team, Frankie? Is this team still a work in progress? Their identity, have or have not?
Have. And, you know, one of the biggest things last year being around the team and going to other buildings, talking to other teams and coaches and players is that the thing we always heard is the Montreal Canadiens are a hardworking team, they're a competitive team, and they're not an easy out. This season, there have been too many games where there have been an easy out, and they'll have to get back to that identity. But really, you know, you can be a fast team, you can be a really skilled team, you can be a really physical team like we're seeing tonight in the Minnesota Wild, a very strong defensive team. There has to be something that when teams play against the Montreal Canadiens, you could say that's what they are. And right now, they are still a work in progress in that regard. Last year, the big thing was they're very competitive and they're not going to be an easy out. That is what they should aspire to be this season as the team continues to build moving forward.
Part and parcel with that, the Montreal Canadiens entered tonight tied with Nashville for the fewest points this season with 12. You're kind of seeing a lot of comparisons where this team was a year ago. They've fallen off a little bit. You are concerned about the progress of the rebuild.
Have not. And I know some of the numbers would say that this team is regressing. That's not the case, because when a rebuild is done, they should have all the pieces in place to say, okay, we are now done being near the bottom of the standings and getting high draft picks. This is the group we're going forward with. And there's going to be some tinkering as far as roster construction goes, but they are not there yet. There is still some players on some expiring contracts that may not be with this team next year. So once that money gets spent and then you decide who are going to be the complementary pieces, or maybe even a bigger piece along the way that you bring in, once you decide all that, that's when you will know how the rebuild is going and what the progress is like. But they're not there yet. I would say it's a rebuild that is still in the steps of tearing down and trying to get more complementary pieces around the core pieces that are already here.
So it may get worse before it gets better?
It's not that it's going to get worse before it gets better. It's that there's going to be some players moving on and a new crop of players coming in. And then once that happens, you'll have a better scope of, okay, what is this group moving forward for the next few years?
Bright spot this season, I think we can all agree, Cole Caulfield entered tonight tied with 4 other players with the NHL lead with 12 goals. Sam Reinhart of the Florida Panthers has scored tonight, so now he's at the top at 13. But come Christmas time, that Montreal Canadian, Cole Caulfield, will be sitting atop the goal-scoring list.
Have not. He will be very high up on the goal-scoring list because he's been on a heater and he's finding different ways to score, whether it be at the side of the net on the power play or the shot down the wing that has a little more juice on it this year. But there's some guys around the league that have already done it and been atop the goal-scoring leaderboard for a while now. The one that really sticks out to me is Leon Draisaitl, who's right there. Reinhart, who leads the NHL in goals right now. So there's some players that are more accustomed to being near near the top of the list. I have no doubt if you ask me if he's going to be in the top 5 to 7, I could go there, but not atop the goal-scoring leaderboard by Christmas.
And as we saw earlier in our game, on pace for 61 goals this season, Cole Caulfield. Excellent job. I could have done a better job asking the questions, but 0-0 is where we stand after 20. Low event period.
Do we ever?
Yes. 4-2 were the shots in favor of the Wild, and yes, no scoring. You can see it right there in big capital letters. Those 2 shots for the Montreal Canadiens in that period ties a season worst in a period this season. And those other games that they did that, along with those 3 as well, all losses, these 4 games on the board here. They're averaging 24.5 shots per game. That is last in the NHL, but yep, only 2 so far. All right, second period on tap. So without further ado, let's get you back to MJ and Brian.
Laura and head coach John Hynes might be down 2 forwards here, Mike.
Looking at the bench, Matt Zuccarello, who we saw leave after getting hit with a shot, not on the bench to start the second, as well as Joel Eriksson Ek, who left midway through the first period, did not return. So a little extra room. Look at all that space between the bodies. Clearly a couple players short. So now they're down to 10 forwards, but it's not just that they're 2 very important forwards for the Minnesota Wild, not back in the lineup yet.
So maybe some more ice time, not maybe, for Kirill Kaprizov, and he'll take that. But tough to be 2 men down. Second period underway in a 0-0 game. Low events, opening 20 minutes. Montreal controls early. Wrist shot high into the glove and handled by Philip Gustafsson.
The goaltenders don't mind these kind of periods, though. Nice and easy for them. That is the 3rd shot on Gustafsson. All 3 coming from Montreal defensemen. So nothing from in tight as John Hynes reshuffling the deck. Well, now, even last game they did put Boldy up with Kaprizov where he is right now. Rossi's still in the middle, but Boldy taking Zuccarello's spot on the first line.
Habs win the draw. Lane Hudson waiting, shooting. Wanted Newhook for the high tip.
Oh, penalty. Here we go.
Tripping.
Fresh ice. Early power play to Montreal.
Minnesota, number 23, 2-minute minor, tripping.
Chalewski make the call on Marco Rossi for a trip. Right off the face-off, trying to get in the front of the net. And they're defending, and that's a can opener all the way. You got to move your feet as well as engage the body. So Cole Caulfield, who is as dangerous as anyone, tied for first with 6 power play goals heading into tonight, draws the power play where he looks to get another one.
Wild penalty kill ranked 25th in the National Hockey League, and Montreal 2 for 6 on the power play back on Monday versus Buffalo. A clean win, and the Habs control. And yes, keep an eye on number 13 as the wrist shot Matheson in the body. Never found its way through. Tied with Dylan Larkin. 6 power play goals. Look out as Lacko trying to streak in short-handed. Suzuki will play it away from him. Mike Matheson on the puck for Montreal. 10 assists on the season. Still looking for his first goal of this campaign. Suzuki over the blue line. Little flip. Caulfield. He'll stop, control the puck, go to Matheson. Matheson, Caulfield. They play pass. Matheson at the line. Kirby Dach. Suzuki in the bumper position. Dach far boards up for Matheson. Matheson. Caulfield. Caulfield waiting. Down low. Gets it back from the captain. Up top, Matheson. One-timer right on. Rebound. And pops free to Minnesota. Good save, Gustafsson. And that allows Lacko to take his time. He'll walk it in deep, and the Wild get a change in. Jakub Lacko, great job killing off some more time. He was 1 on 3 and did his job, and now he'll join his teammates for the change.
Get the fuck out!
Here's a conversation with Lacko and the official on the way to the bench.
For a second, I thought you were between the benches, Mike, with your mic open. Here's Hudson. Maneuvers in over the blue line, hands it off, gets it back. Hudson. Little backhand dish. Armia sets up in front. It's back to Hudson. Hudson. Armia fanned on it. Gets the puck back for Heineman. That shot missed. Newhook. Far circle. Alex Newhook. Heineman's parked in front now. Hudson at the line. Hudson. Armia. Armia shoots, and that was right in the crest. And Gustafsson, who's got a 1-2-1 record in his career versus Montreal, coming into tonight with a save there.
On the power play, it looks like they're not going to score on this one, but it has been much better than last year, all the way up to the top 10 in the NHL. And games for the power play goal, that's sort of a number. This year, 12 of 16, 75%, where they were just 45% last year. You know, if you can get it 75%, you get 60 goals in the power play, or 60 games with at least 1 power play goal. It just gives you so many more points in the standings when it's that consistent. So Marty St. Louis took on that responsibility when Alex Burrows left the coaching staff, and they've been better this year.
The Wild actually the 3rd most disciplined team coming in the NHL. Boldy. Chips to himself, good look, hands it off. Kaprizov, wrist shot, Montembeault able to see that. And Montembeault will squeeze. And Mike, to finish your thought, Marty St. Louis said earlier today that the power play hasn't actually been great, but they've been opportunistic, and there's room to improve there.
And I guess that's a net positive because they're still scoring goals, but they haven't generated the kind of buzz, but they score when they get their looks. Well, like this guy scores when he gets his look. Kaprizov finally gets a little open ice on a stop-up from Matt Boldy. And there's no way the game could have played at the pace of the first period for 3. Like, it has to open up. It has to create some offense. And maybe the long change in the second period can help open up the ice a little bit.
46 last season for Kaprizov. Boldy, puck picked by Caulfield. A nice job out of the reach of Evans. As Kaprizov, over 40 goals in his last 3 seasons, continues to put up the points. But a good job by Montreal here on the road, shutting him down thus far. Kaiden Guhle said, you know what, he doesn't have any weaknesses, and it takes a team effort to shut a guy like 97 down, and so far so good as Guhle on cue chips it away from him. Newhook through center. Newhook over the line, drops it for Caulfield. Caulfield, back pass, Guhle picks it up. Kaiden Guhle, he'll hand it off for Newhook. Newhook on the puck, Caulfield one-time drive, and that was blocked by Boldy. Bogosian. He'll start to play. Caulfield keeps it alive. Good job by Caulfield. Newhook in. Weak shot. Caulfield side of the net. And he couldn't find the puck. And Boldy, he'll skate it up ice for Minnesota. Rister, easy one, Montembeault. He'll keep the play alive, and the Wild get a change in. Nice move from Struble. Through center ice. Struble will chip and chase after it. Struble in on Spurgeon. Spurgeon trying to take it away from Suzuki. As good to see Jared Spurgeon, the captain, back healthy. Like 2 surgeries last year. One on his hip and then the leg as well. So good to have him back healthy. Suzuki through center ice. Maneuvers. Looking Doc's way. Doc charges in. He'll finish his check. Wild started up ice. Spurgeon sends it across. Drop pass. High wrister, and Foligno let it go, and Montembeault fights it off up high, and he'll make the save.
Good save, good hold. As games has opened up a little bit in the second period, and good defense on the backtrack. Leads to a turnover and Newhook. He's trying to find a way to pass it, but eventually forced to shoot it, even though he's being bothered a little bit by the stick of Rossi. And that was good positioning, good defense to create that chance by Newhook.
Caulfield leads the team coming in with 41 shots on goal, and the forwards trying to get under the actives. It's been the defense with the shots from the back end thus far in this game. David Savard for Hudson. Lane Hudson to the right side off the boards, and I thought Gustafsson played it, but
just watched it hit the side of the net for the ice.
Icing a call.
So one of the real young stars for Minnesota is Brock Faber. That's not him in the uniform, that's Kaprizov. That's Faber in his Gopher sweatshirt, sitting on the glass celebrating. And a year later, there he is on the ice. He's celebrating with the same guy. It's a great story for Faber, who was traded from the LA Kings, and it's just been a perfect fit back home where he played his college hockey for the Wild.
39 assists, Mike. Rookie record as Faber on cue. Lets it go, never got through. Faber head up, drops it back. Boldy spinning away. Matt Boldy protects the puck, still controls. He'll feed the blue line. Middleton hands it off for Kaprizov, and he couldn't handle it. Comes to center, and Pandata, good job to poke it free all the way down to Gustafsson. He'll play to Kaprizov. Kaprizov to center. Boldy, the backhand in. Kaprizov, he leaves it. Spurgeon, nice little pop pass. As that shot blocked, and Cooley will chip it down the ice. My apologies, Spurgeon with the shot. It was passed over by Declan Chisholm. Good puck battle behind the goalie. Comes to Cooley. Cooley. He'll stop with the puck. Caden Cooley still with it. Cooley stops. Wrist shot just wide, and Anderson went by him. Comes to Matheson. Mike Matheson floats one in. That hit Gallagher. Didn't get through. Clear to Trainin at set. Trainin jams it in. Wild changing. Matheson, Newhook. Alertly, he found the puck off the boards, and he's on the move. Alex Newhook in. Wrist shot. Good block by Merrill. Newhook below the goal line, creating some space. Lays it up top. That shot tipped. Anderson, a good job, but he couldn't tip it on net, and Anderson calls for a change. Arbor Jacka keeps the play alive. He works it into the corner. There's Dvorak with Newhook. Trainin able to find it, and he'll play it off the right side. Wanted Hushmadinov. Wild got to get back on side, and they will, but Montreal has the puck. It's Arbor Jacka at center. Try to flip it in. Newhook will finish the job. Evans in the corner. Cole Caulfield behind the net, using the boards. Struble walks the line. Wrister, and good blocker stop Gustafsson. Arbor Jacka from a knee. Still stick handling. The dish across. Nobody there. Caulfield making moves. He'll drop it off. Struble walking in. Struble shot. Gustafsson stopped it. Rebound available. And finally to center. Some good pressure there for Montreal.
Better stuff from Montreal, battling for loose pucks. We talked about in the open, the key, battling in front of the net. That means on offense too if you're Montreal. Screens and tips are available if you can get there.
Doc leaves, jammed in. Caulfield, near corner, has the puck. Caulfield Continues to work in the corner. Merrill fell. Lane Hudson at the line.
Yeah, he's fun to watch.
Shaking players, making moves. Hudson still with it. Little backhand dish. Caulfield towards the net. A floater never found its way. Hudson picks it up. Hudson around the net. Lane Hudson still with it. What a move. In spin shoots. Oh, and it stopped Gustafsson. That would have been a beauty for his first. Did everything but score. Hudson gets taken down by Foligno, who uses the glove to clear the center. He's worth the ticket, isn't he, Lane Hudson? Fun stuff.
That was sweetness from behind the net. The fact that he finds himself behind the net, he's comfortably rolling back there. Nice hands.
Talked to Dan Hughes, an assistant now with the Rangers, was his head coach at the USA Hockey National Team Development Program, and he says the compete in that young man is unbelievable. Pass across, one-time drive, and Hartman right on, handled by Montembeault. As Lane Hudson will compete, the size means nothing. Pretty good chance for Montreal. It's a 0-0 score.
Still looking for the game's first goal. Lane Hudson still looking for his first goal. Almost had it on a brilliant individual stick handling exhibition from in behind the net on Philip Gustafsson. Pulls it out in front and walks around and almost finds a way to tuck it home. He's just so shifty. Stop, start. You play to space, then he takes it somewhere else, and that close to getting his first. And the reputation is already spreading where guys do not challenge him as quickly as they would a less shifty player because he could dance around them like that, so he's almost getting more time and space because of it.
Off the draw, here's Faber. He'll dish. Kaprizov. Back in. Johansson spinning away from Kundata. Johansson. Kundata hits him in the corner, allows Guhle to get to the puck. Hudson, a top 3 finalist for the Hobey Baker, won by Celebrini. What a career at Boston University. And now, you know, it's amazing. There was talk, does he start the season in Laval? Does he get some seasoning? And what a start to his NHL career. Look out, 2-on-1. Kaprizov in across, and couldn't get the feed across to Johansson. Broke it up nicely by Montreal.
Puck bounced on Kaiden Guhle, and not the guy you want with the puck on a stick on a 2-on-1 with Kaprizov, but a nice job by Matheson taking the pass away.
Shots 8-8 in the hockey game as we near the midway point here of the second period. And I think Marty St. Louis would be happy with this thus far. You know what? It's low event, but they're patient, and Montreal's playing their game and worrying about their details thus far.
I mean, I think they're playing Minnesota's game stylistically, but they're, you know, you got to be solid. And these are like the little details. Kaiden Guhle misses a puck at the blue line. And now the quick strike offense. Matheson ends up pivoting, playing this going forward. And that's a dangerous spot to be. On the pivot, you are so vulnerable. The passes through your feet, but the quick boots of Matheson take it away from Kaprizov. Would have been an empty net for Johansson.
Kaprizov, by the way, did win the Calder in his rookie season.
Oh,
Look out, Marc-Andre Fleury. He is in the game.
The glove hand still works, gets a roar.
It's awesome.
He's got some sick pads on. I noticed him in warm-up too. Marc-Andre Fleury, he's got a lot of gold and green going on right now as the forever smiling backup goalie for the Minnesota Wild. Still gets a kick out of coming to the rink every day.
Like, he turns 40 on November the 28th, and he's still like a teenager, and it's awesome. It's great for the game, and he just brings passion into that room and his teammates.
And the best stat I saw when Celebrini scored on him. When Celebrini was born, Fleury had been in the NHL for 3 years.
We just talked about the Hall of Fame. Well, that's a surefire Hall of Famer, Marc-Andre Fleury. Anderson for Gallagher, whiffed on the shot. Spurgeon from a knee trying to clear and get some help. There's Foligno. Little pop pass, Hartman. He'll work it in right to Montembeault, and he's got to play it and will. Upper to Dvorak. Christian Dvorak. And he did everything but stay on side. As Dvorak, you can tell, a little frustrated with himself. 0-0 game, 9:24 to go here in the second period at XL Energy Center on this Thursday night on TSN.
Well, if this is going to be the last year that Marc-Andre Fleury plays, he will be celebrated as he goes around the league, especially in his old teams like Pittsburgh, where he got together with the original trio, Crosby, Malkin, Letang for a pitcher, and was cheered and celebrated the whole game as he should be. He doesn't want this to turn into a retirement tour, but for all the good that he's done, all the fun that he's had, it will probably become more real as the season rolls along.
Here's Hudson. Burst of speed in, whiffed on the shot. Tries to follow up. Turnover, Caulfield. And then he couldn't hold it in as Trainin played it away. And they'll do it again in Montreal by January 30th at the Bell Center, and you hope the Quebec native, where he got win 500, by the way, with a shutout versus the Habs.
I remember doing that game.
Be a nice fitting ending, as Hudson will backhand that in.
Wild just announcing Eriksson Ek and Zuccarello will not return to this game.
So more ice time for guys like Ryan Hartman, who plays it behind the net. Hartman gets it back. Hartman stretching ice. That's out of the reach of Lacko, and that'll be icing against Minnesota.
And the longer you can keep the game like this tight and physical and grinding, the harder it's going to be for John Hynes and his group. Now, the good news for Minnesota, they've had a few days off. So energy in this game should not be an issue. But certainly chemistry for a team that's gotten off to such a good start now, changing the lines around in the pairings is going to be an issue.
Matheson space in, shoots, and a good block as he gets it back. Mike Matheson. Kaiden Guhle. Habs trying to strike first here in the second. Space, backhand Slafkovsky, and he missed it high glove side. Slafkovsky back to Mark Suzuki, wraps it along the wall. Kirby Dach for Slafkovsky. Slafkovsky trying to protect himself from the check. And the Wild able to free the puck. Trennan skating after it, no icing. Matheson. Watched by Hartman. He'll pass it off. Kirby Dach. Suzuki from Slafkovsky. Nick Suzuki throws it across. Slafkovsky in, backhand, and he fanned on it. Oh my, big collision. And Gustafsson jumps on Slafkovsky and pins him there. Net off, his stick is gone. The play the other way, net off the moorings as the play continued.
They're playing the advantage, which is rare when the net's off that much. It was Hartman that hit Slafkovsky into Gustafsson. I know Gustafsson doesn't like it, but when he sees the replay, I think he'll talk to his teammate and say, why are you hitting the opposition into me? As Slafkovsky goes rolling through for his second chance, and that is 100% going to be Ryan Hartman's contact, and that's where the Habs are looking for. If you watch the replay roll through, Hartman steps into Slafkovsky as he's going to go down the side of the net. Where do you expect him to go? Like, what do you want him to do? And that should be, I'm sorry, that's got to be a penalty on Gustafsson. Can Slafkovsky, if he doesn't like what's happening, jump on Gustafsson and put him in a headlock and not pick up a roughing penalty? Absolutely not. So why can Gustafsson? Slafkovsky got hammered into him on a hit that's legal, fine. But you just don't get to do that because you're a goalie. I don't like that one bit. I don't mind that Gustafsson does it. Go ahead, do whatever you want. But the refs have to realize that's got to be a penalty on Filip Gustafsson. And you certainly can't play the advantage going the other way on a 4-on-3 when it was Hartman hitting Slafkovsky that knocked the net off. That would have been an even bigger issue.
7:43 to go, second period. Off the draw, Kaprizov into the corner. Johansson there. Kaprizov centers, but it's right to Hudson. He pops it to the line and chipped out eventually there by Dvorak. Dvorak at center. Pass behind Hudson, and look out. Here comes Boldy. Boldy waiting for help towards the net. Tip, good stop. Kaprizov picks it up. Behind the net, Kaprizov. Good save by Montembeault as he spins in front. Johansson. What a goal! Boldy finishes. Beautiful passing from Minnesota, and it's 1-0.
What a sequence for Minnesota off the rush. Boldy sets up the first tip, and now Kaprizov has it, but David Savard, who are you covering? You're staring at Kaprizov, but not identifying Johansson playing 1.5. You probably turn and engage with Johansson's stick. And Lane Hudson, who are you covering? You're covering Matt Boldy. You can't get beat down to the far post. It's just, they're there, but just a little loose against the wrong guys who make really nice plays in tight. No chance for Montembeault, and Minnesota gets their first, and the game's first, to take the lead.
10 on the season for Matt Boldy. That was beautiful passing from the Wild.
All started with a turnover in the neutral zone, though. Montreal had it moving up the ice against the other team's best line. They don't get it deep, and all of a sudden, the structure of the defensive zone is not set off the rush.
Kaprizov up to 29 points as Armia walks it in. Yoel Armia. Bogosian jammed it away. Chip and chase on as Konstantinov starts the plays behind the net. Little backhand. Laco. Checked by Armia. Laco behind the net. Thought about the wrap job. Goes up top. Spurgeon's wrist shot wide. Hartman there. Hartman slashed at by Struble. Struble pushes him down. Nice little move by Chisholm for Spurgeon. Towards the net. Off escape. Rebound in tight. Stopped by Montembeault as Chisholm right there.
Good save by Montembeault. This is such a pivotal time of the game where Minnesota will really take advantage as it was Christian Dvorak. He's got a nice little cut on his mouth. Here's the puck in the neutral zone. Doesn't get in. A couple guys chasing it. Bad pass from Dvorak to Hudson. And now it just never gets quite set up again. Everything's a little bit loose. But now guys are back and it's just not quite on point. Lane Hudson and Savard mixes up their signals in front of the net, and ends up with Boldy wide open.
Alex Newhook through center. Caulfield off the boards. Jake Evans. Caulfield, one-time drive off the side of the pipe.
He likes that low, Draisaitl-like spot at the bottom of the circle.
Boldy out of the reach of Marcus Johansson.
Johansson needed that. Hadn't had a point in 9 games. Now he's playing on the first line with Boldy and Kaprizov.
Matheson speed, trying to create space. Newhook in, shoots off a body and wide inside of the net. Gustafsson didn't do himself any favors, kind of chipped it to himself, bobbled it, stops it, and now a scrum behind him. Matt Boldy last year, career high in points was 69. And he's got 10 on the season. Beautiful setup to him in front. Wild lead on home ice, 1-0.
I would also like to thank Marc Bergevin, Jeff Molson, and the Montreal Canadiens for giving me a chance to play in the most passionate hockey city I think I've ever seen. I think I should be thanking David Poile for that too. The fans welcomed me in after the trade and made me feel at home as if I'd been there my whole career. And I want to thank the great fans of Montreal for those memories, especially during the Stanley Cup run in 2021. Merci beaucoup.
Well done by Shea Weber and all the inductees into the Hockey Hall of Fame on Monday. And also winning the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award is Pierre Houde, our good friend from RDS, and he will join us in the second intermission to talk about his experience, so well respected and a dear friend of ours. So we look forward to him joining us in the broadcast booth.
I saw a picture of Carey Price. I think he gets the call next year. It's his first year eligible, and I expect him to be a first ballot guy heading in.
Price and a number of the players, including Suzuki, made the trip up to watch the induction after the win at Buffalo, up in Toronto. It was just a wonderful weekend for everyone involved for sure. It was fun to watch, too, as a hockey fan. Here's Slafkovsky starting the play. Suzuki try to get it back to him. Slafkovsky in the corner. Middleton spun around as Suzuki continues to work. Slafkovsky finds the puck. Doc battling, still loose, and Doc got taken down. Slafkovsky up for Matheson. Mike Matheson at the line, hands it off. Gooley at the line. Waits, wanted the tip. Off the end boards, and Matheson picks the pocket of Lacko in, shoots. Oh, and he missed the corner. Far side, he had some daylight, and he missed the mark.
Lacko was so out of gas there. He wasn't going to go anywhere near Matheson. He had nothing left.
4 minutes remaining in the second period. Boldy, the lone goal scorer. Shots 12-8 in favor of the Wild. Bogosian behind his net. Little pass up ahead is Gaudreau advancing play. Foligno over the line. Foligno. He'll hand it off. Merrill's shot. Blocker stop. Montembeault. Merrill in the corner. Hit by Dvorak. Evans swipes it away. Matheson starts the play up for Gallagher off his stick. Gustafsson will play it away to Bogosian. Gaudreau, little backhand. Foligno got bumped at the line. Montembeault out to play it, and he does successfully away from Boldy. Boldy's getting a lot of ice time with the two forwards down.
Well, they'll be running 3 lines plus 1, so at worst you're going every third.
Near turnover as Condotta was reaching for it, poked away by Gustafsson. Here's Kirill Kaprizov. Pass out of the reach of Johansson. Boldy stays onside. Johansson drops it off. Pass across. Spurgeon takes a look. He'll dish. Chisholm to Spurgeon. Spurgeon in front. A good tip. Boldy stopped by Montembeault. Pass in front. Hudson there. And Lane Hudson able to skate away with it. Hudson chips and chases. Stops. Hit by Chisholm. Hudson. Backhand feed. Evans the shot off a leg. Good feed by Hudson. Arbor Jacki. He'll hesitate. Works it in. Caulfield thought about the shot. Still with it. And then lost it in his skates to Boldy. Matt Boldy at center. He needs a change, so he'll flip it in with 2:15 to go in the second. Arbor Jacki. Out of his own zone. Shoots it in for Montreal. In comes Evans. Good burst of speed. Evans behind the net. New hook. Jacki. He'll sling it across. Struble tried to work it in deep. Gaudreau lost his stick. Struble continues to battle. Newhook keeps it onside. Still onside is Montreal. As that drive right on. Caulfield handled by Philip Gustafsson.
We've seen Minnesota a couple times in the offensive zone look for slap passes for tips. And Montembeault had to be sharp to turn around. This one for Boldy. He jumps inside. Heineman out of the air. Wow, that's a good save. And a really nice tip. And after that, Lane Hudson says, you know what, we need some offense, so I'll go spin-a-rama through 3, get it to Jake Evans for a pretty good opportunity in the slot. As Montreal looking for a game breaker somehow to find space.
Good win, Suzuki. Back to Matheson. Final stages of the second period. Montreal looking for the equalizer. Slafkovsky slams it in. Doc. Suzuki in the corner. In comes Middleton. Wild skated up ice. Kuzmadinov will hand it off. Hartman waits, shoots. And Kuzmadinov right through his legs. Could get the shot away. They'll come again. Hartman shoots it around. The dump it from Ryan Hartman in the skates of Doc. Gaudreau slashed at it. And again, into the Wild bench.
Kirby Doc now playing on the wing. We heard Frankie talk about him in the first intermission. These games are tough. I've been in lots of them where there's just nothing going on and everyone's working hard trying to find something. But when the other team is so locked in defensively, you're just having a hard time at creating anything. You feel like you're spinning your tires. No positive energy into your body because you just are getting nothing in the offensive zone. It's hard to stay patient and keep your energy and positivity in games like this.
But they're one shot away.
It's not on the scoreboard. You just want to be productive. You want to play.
Final minute, Xcel Energy Center, second period. Here's Foligno. Works the puck up top. That drive from Chisholm missed the mark. Gooley tripping up Foligno. Foligno reaching back for the puck. And Gallagher, second effort, gets that to center. Wild got to get back on side, and they will. Kaprizov trying to come in on Matheson, lost the puck. And still on side. Rossi, the give and go. Kaprizov, tough angle, follow-up try. Montembeault, the stop as Foligno crashed in. Trying to bury one late. 30 seconds left in the period. Spurgeon, the backhand pass. Worked in by Rossi. Foligno leaves it. Kaprizov. Foligno. Some different combinations, too, for the Wild players as they got some new line mates because of the injuries. If you're just joining us, no Eriksson Ek or Zuccarello. Both left with injuries in this game. And that'll do it, Mike. 1-0 Minnesota. Low-scoring affair through 40 minutes.
Not surprising. This is what Minnesota does. They don't generate a ton. They give up even less, and they let their best players be difference makers. So far, that has been exactly the script with Boldy. Once again, the only goal scorer, and Kaprizov in on the goal.
The Wild 7-0-0 this season. No surprise when they lead through 40 minutes of play, but the good news, if you're a Habs fan, Montreal one shot away from tying things up. Molson Canadiens Hockey on TSN. Intermission is next. We'll hear from Hall of Famer Peter Hood from RDS. Intermission, Laura, Frankie, they have to come.
On the promo.
I appreciate your feedback. I started talking, forgot what day it was. It's always an adventure with Laura Dyken. Frankie Corrado alongside as well. Matt Boldy doing the honors. This is the 12th time in their 16 games that Minnesota has opened the scoring. 8-1-2 record when they do that. But we heard Brian say before break, Habs just one shot away from tying this puppy up. And little did we know that when we were talking about hockey in the Montreal Canadiens, Sir Isaac Newton would be making an appearance here in intermission.
Okay.
Get creative.
Okay, stay with me.
Okay.
Newton's cradle. You know what this thing is?
Yes.
Okay, it's steel balls, and it demonstrates principles of conservation of momentum, conservation of energy in physics. Now, how does this apply to D-zone coverage?
How, Frankie?
Let's take a look at the Montreal Canadiens and their goal against. Okay, everything is sorted out off the rush. Everyone has their man, but here's where it comes into play. Christian Dvorak, you have to hand that off to David Savard on the other side of the net, just like Newton's cradle. Instead, Dvorak goes around the net. Savard can't pinpoint who he has. Lane Hudson, there's confusion in front of the net. If you just applied Newton's cradle to that situation and you came back to the front of the net, you checked off your player on the other side, attacked on the other side of the net, that goal would have been prevented. Science and physics would have prevented that goal.
Look how proud of yourself you are. Good job. Very creative.
Mike Johnson would be very proud of that.
Yeah, well, we'll see how many Newton's cradles we get mentioned there in the third period, and perhaps beyond if this one is decided in overtime or the shootout. You thought we'd go another intermission without talking about Lane Hudson. Oh, no.
You were wrong.
That sequence there in the second period, we thought if he gets his first career NHL goal like that, stop the presses.
It does feel like that's how it's going to happen, and he creates a lot of these moments, and there's a lot of defensemen that are willing to live to fight another day. Hey, there's pressure on me. I got to get rid of this puck. Lane Hudson is not one of those guys. The confidence continues to grow for him, especially on the blue line, but he's not going to dump a puck away. He's not going to waste a puck, and then he gets involved pinching down, and he's still not going to throw it behind the net. In fact, he fakes out the cameraman, and then a little bit of a show it and toe drag to create the shot on net for Lane Hudson. Like, the confidence oozes out of this kid. At some point, he's going to get his first NHL goal, and you have to think that it's going to be a highlight reel goal. But one of the things that really stands out is he's not a defenseman who's willing to just dump it into a corner or dump it behind the net and live to fight another day. He is going to challenge you at one-on-one, and more often than not, he is going to execute and beat you.
And he's so even keel. You can imagine how many times he's been asked, are you going to score your first goal anytime soon here? And he's like, it'll come.
He's like that. Like, he's like that in the dressing room too. Like, we'll be down there after morning skate and we talk to him. He's just like, he's in the moment. He wants to play. He wants to compete. Like, it never looks like anything is too big for him. Right. And he's just like, he's a kid playing in the NHL, and he's doing things that kids in the NHL don't generally do. There's a select few that can do what he does, and he continues to do it. Like, can we go another period without talking about him? I don't know. But if he continues to do things like that, we have to show it.
A much better second period for the Montreal Canadiens, but they do trail the Minnesota Wild 1-0 thanks to Matt Boldy's 10th of the year. He leads the team in that department. It is a busy night in the NHL with 10 games on tap, including the Jets, who are looking to continue their historic start against Tampa. taking on the defending champs, those Boston Celtics, on Saturday. You can tune in at 7:30 Eastern, 8:30 Atlantic. That is when our coverage tips off here on TSN. All right, we got some highlights for you now. First stop, Edmonton for the Preds and Oilers. Midway through the first, Roman Josi from the point here, and it's the former half, Michael McCarron, who tips it in, his second goal of the season. Connor McDavid sitting on 999 career points. That was your first goal of the game. Let's go to the Jets and Lightning now. First period, Nick Paul on the rush. Drops for Jake Gensel. Gensel's 6th of the year. Remember, Winnipeg started this season winning 15 of their first 16 games. They do lose this one, though, in Tampa. How about the Flyers and the Senators? Flyers up 1-0 in the first. Josh Norris, backhand pass to Brady Tkachuk. Works out pretty well for the captain. He's got his 9th of the year. It was a back-and-forth affair. This one in overtime, all tied up 4-4. Let's go to the Blues and Sabres now, all tied up 2-2 late in the second. Dylan Holloway shot deflects in front, and it's Brandon Saad. He's not Saad. He's Saad. He's cleaning up the garbage as the second of the game. And that would break the tie as we go to Florida for the Devils and the defending champs, the Panthers. This one also all tied 2-2 in the second. Jack Hughes centering pass off a couple of skates, and that'll work. Dawson Mercer gets credit for his 5th of the campaign as that puts the Devils on top. And last but certainly not least, Bruins and the Stars, just over a minute in. Mason Marchment feeds Matt Duchene. Duchene gets the goal, but Tyler Seguin gets the secondary assist. Why is that important? Well, that's point number 800 of his NHL career. So we got some highlights for you, as I said, on a busy day in the NHL with 10 games on the schedule, including the Vancouver Canucks. That one getting underway at the top of the clock. Canucks have won 4 of their last 5 as their 6-game homestand continues against the Islanders. Well, Monday was a momentous day as the Hockey Hall of Fame inducted its newest members, the 2024 class. We saw in our second period the former Montreal Canadian captain Shea Weber getting the call, as well as Pierre Houde, the Foster Hewitt Memorial Award winner. He has been with RDS since back in 1989. He's done a little bit of everything. And yes, let's hear now from the newest member of the Hockey Hall of Fame with our Brian Mudryk.
Pierre, congratulations, officially in the Hall of Fame. It's such a pleasure to not only call you a wonderful broadcaster, a mentor, but a friend as well.
Yep.
And for me, Pierre, I just love to know, when you first found out, where were you and the emotions going through you when you knew you were going into the Hall of Fame?
Well, I was home. Chuck Caton, our president, gave me a ring quite early in the morning. Chuck is a pretty early riser. And so he announced me the news and that I was selected by the NHLBA committee, and this is something that doesn't happen very much to me, but I was out of words. I didn't know what to say. And you know, my brother had just passed, and my first thought was to thank my brother. You know, I had this feeling that he had something to do with that, and I felt, of course, very emotional. And right there, and still tonight, very grateful about the whole thing and about the honor.
The first game for RDS in 1989 for the Montreal Canadiens, over 3,500 NHL games for you. A special moment. You go in with Shea Weber as well, the former Montreal Canadiens captain. I know there's got to be many, Pierre, but what stands out to you special about that weekend?
Oh my God, it was having family and friends around, and get to see once again all those wonderful colleagues that and those friends that I've made throughout those 35 years. But having family and friend very close was great. We had one table at the luncheon with my family and friends, and then we had one table with my crew. I wanted to have my crew, producers, directors around. We had our 2 former presidents as well, and Serge Savard was graceful enough to with his presence at our table. So what can you ask more than this, you know?
Very special. And finally, a lot of people don't know this. You called a game in English for TSN as well.
Yeah, I think this is the first time I wear this microphone since December 26, 1995. It was Boxing Day, and I was calling a Habs game in Pittsburgh with Gary Green. And I had to pinch it because the Brian Mudricks of the world, we're not there yet. So it's a great memory for me.
You're wonderful. Congratulations. And what people don't know, you're a wonderful Hall of Fame person as well, and a great friend, and welcoming you to us at TSN. Congratulations, Hall of Famer. But get back to work. You got some goals to call,
I gotta
okay?
go. Yeah, I gotta switch the mic sign here. Thanks for your invitation, Brian.
Awesome stuff here.
Thank you so much.
Oh, that was great. Well, we know Montreal fans travel very well, always show up for their team. Haven't had a lot to cheer for in this one, but the third period is just around the corner. This game, his 10th puts him at the top of the team in that category, beating out his teammate Kirill Kaprizov, who picked up an assist there, and he is second in the NHL scoring behind just one Nathan MacKinnon. So Montreal just down 1 goal. What a win this would be if they could pull it out and finish this road trip with back-to-back victories. Let's get you back to Brian and MJ with the call.
Laura, Matt Boldy, 4 game-winning goals so far this season, tied with Leon Draisaitl for the NHL lead in that department, and right now his goal is the lone one in this contest.
And he's such an important player for Minnesota because usually he doesn't play at 5-on-5 with Kaprizov and Zuccarello. He's on a line by himself to drive the second line of offense, and he's done a really good job of it. He's really emerged the last couple of years as a top-flight NHL player. We were just talking to Billy Guerin in between intermissions, who is also not just the GM here in Minnesota, but the Four Nations face-off, and I think he'll be picking his team's own Matt Boldy to play in that tournament. That's how good he has been to start the year.
Mike, he was one of the best players for USA at the recent World Championship in Ostrava. He was mixing around the top power play, worked his way up to the top line at certain points in that tournament as well, and was very noticeable and continues his path here in the NHL. Would not be a bad pick for Bill Guerin and company, and he gets to watch him every night here, underway in this third period. Caulfield trying to jam it free. Hartman up that right wing. He'll take it to center. Ryan Hartman to the left side. Foligno couldn't handle the pass. If you're just joining us, no Eriksson Ek or Zuccarello right now for John Hynes in the Wild, both left with injuries. As Hartman dishes, look out, that hit Cooley in the head, and Caulfield collects far boards. Caden Gooley gave it away as Foligno was checking him, and Gooley gets to try again. Adjusting his helmet after taking one off the head there. Kirby Dach through center for Montreal. Dach walking it in, still with it. Kirby Dach, and a wobbling shot into the glove of Philip Gustafsson, who has been perfect so far. Just 9 shots his way.
it has been very difficult for Montreal to get to the center of the ice. Whether it's through the neutral zone or once they get down to the offensive zone, Minnesota just does such a good job of layering up their defense and pushing everyone outside so Gustafsson just can stare at the puck, get good clean looks at it, and not be bothered by any kind of traffic.
Off the draw and a good swat as Suzuki was cutting in. Gustafsson poked it away from him, and Kaprizov will shoot it in for the Wild. Montembeault right to Boldy, who picks it up. Boldy, quick strike and a save. Montembeault shoot from anywhere. Why not? And Montembeault is ready. Good strike from Boldy. Puck in the corner. Kaprizov swatted at it, missed, and Slafkovsky has it, far corner. Pass intended for Doc, comes all the way to center. And Declan Chisholm will start the play. Boldy at center. Boldy, long shot, glove down by Montembeault. He'll play it as the Wild change.
You might see a steady dose of this. Yes, the Wild backing up into their neutral zone forecheck.
Chipped up ahead to Brendan Gallagher. Some pace into the corner. Middleton behind the net. Trainin chips it up for Lacko, and he was nudged off the puck by Dvorak. Play to center. Josh Anderson shoots it in. Faber in the corner, met by Gallagher. Off a skate to the line. Struble, one-timer, and the stop rebound. Good battle, Anderson trying to find that rebound on the one-time drive from Jaden Struble. Pass in front through the legs, but right to Faber, and he'll work that to Yakov Trainin. Lacko behind the net, gets pinned. Centering feed as Trainin tried to center. To the line, shot, Montembeault able to stop that. In comes John Merrill. Keeps the play alive. Merrill towards the net. That hit, Trainin in front as he was screening Montembeault, and Yoel Armia has the puck for the Habs. Backhanded in by Kundata. Bogosian, the backhand along the boards. Merrill gets pinned. Flipped back in by Matheson. Kusmadinov at center, as is Kundata and Merrill. Little flip to the left side, shot off the side of the net. One of the better looks. And a shot from Heineman, who's got a great shot on a 2-game point streak. He'll feed it up quickly. Kundata's shot up high and handled by Gustafsson. A few more shots here from Montreal. They're going to need them.
Well, one way to break down a very organized D zone is to put shots in on net, because the rebounds, the caroms, the defensive team doesn't know where it's going either. So maybe you can get some confusion when you do it.
Johansson over the line, walks it in, hits the trailer, little pop pass. That shot, Boldy right on.
Touch.
And Montembeault, the save on Matt Boldy, who has the lone goal in this hockey game.
And he's got that really quick release, lots of velocity on it. And playing with Kaprizov, he just skates off the puck and walks right into it. And the bench has been pretty organized. Everyone's getting a fair shift. Everyone's getting lots of ice time. And a nice versatility for Matt Boldy, because he plays wing when he's playing on the second line, but he can also play in the middle, as he is now, when need be, on the first line.
Wild will host Dallas on Saturday, and Montreal returns home to take on Columbus at the Bell Center. Here's Evans. Good stick. Boldy defensively got back, poked it away from Newhook. Puck behind the net. Montreal controls. Up for Hudson. To Savard. Savard throws it up high, and Evans there.
Another penalty. That's on Boldy on Caulfield. Second one drawn by Caulfield in the game. It's going to be interference to Matt Boldy. And this is a real opportunity. We clearly 5-on-5 offense is hard to come by.
12, 2-minute minor interference.
But a power play that has been pretty solid this year for Montreal has a chance to be a difference maker in this game. As Cole Caulfield moving his feet. That's a tough one. Matt Boldy thinks he's establishing position, but it's probably the secondary shove, and when you fall on top of him, Montreal gets the power play and a chance to tie the game.
Those two are teammates, putting a World Junior goal together for Team USA. Caulfield draws the penalty on Boldy. And a good clear by the Wild. They were 3 for 3 on the penalty kill in that OT loss, their last game versus Chicago. 35 minutes gone in this third period. 1-0 Minnesota Wild. Matheson will lay it back. Suzuki for Dach with space. Kirby Dach in, shoots, and a good stop, Gustafsson. Good pace by Dach up that right side, and a better save from Gustafsson.
Lauko got stuck too far to the inside, giving Kirby Dach clean access down the outside lane. Good chance.
Matheson again, drops. Here's Suzuki. Nick Suzuki, Kirby Dach. Had it, lost it, and put Montreal in offside.
Not a clean zone entry that time, but the previous opportunity, Kirby Dach gets ahead of steam in the neutral zone. Marty St. Louis trying to keep that gum in one piece. If they can get it set up, obviously want to run it down through Cole Caulfield. The puck on his stick to shoot whenever you can. Easier said than done against a disciplined Wild team.
Here's Matheson. Drops it back, Suzuki. Over the blue line, flips for Caulfield. Stripped by Faber.
So quick with the hands by Faber to pick that out of the air.
Montembeault well out, and he'll play it away as Drennan was coming in. 45 seconds left of the minor penalty here for Montreal. You look at historically the two players that have scored the most goals against this team, Gallagher and Savard with 5 each.
It's Savard. He's the only team in the league that he's got that number on.
Savard's got the most points, actually, of all Montreal Canadiens versus the Minnesota Wild. Here's Newhook. Pop pass. Gallagher from a knee. Good job, Hudson. Kept it alive. Lane Hudson for Newhook. Back to Hudson. Time winding down. 13 seconds left. Hudson. Armia back to Hudson. Little head fake. Thought about the one-timer. Hudson will shoot it up high, and that stung, I think, his own teammate Gallagher. Hudson onside, keeps it alive. Newhook, and he found on the one-timer. Puck loose, Gallagher. As Gustafsson lost his stick, he'll collect it. And then after the play, Lauko took his man down, and look out, that was Gallagher. Gallagher's up, and he's heated.
They're after Gallagher because Gallagher poked the puck loose as Gustafsson was trying to freeze it. And that's going to bring a reaction from everyone, always. The Montreal defender staying out of the blue line, so it's 5-on-3 down in the scrum. We'll see what penalties come as their players headed to the box, at least for Minnesota. Lauko's in there, Gallagher heading in that direction as well.
Offsetting minors. 13:44 to go. 4-on-4 hockey. Gustafsson perfect thus far in a 1-0 game.
Big scrum ensues after the whistle, and I think Lauko will get the first penalty for knocking Gallagher down. Gallagher will get another one for jumping up and engaging. And you called it right. 4-on-4, as it's being explained to John Hines. But if you need offense, you need some open ice. At least there's some open ice right now for Montreal to try to exploit. Staying patient, which is good. Hudson and Matheson out there together. Could be fun.
Montreal trying to fight back and break that long losing streak. Why not? Montembeault to Suzuki. He'll curl in over the line, then lost the puck. Remember, too, the other guy, Philip Gustafsson, he's got a goal this season. So the goalies like to get involved sometimes. Look out, turnover, Kaprizov. He's got a step. Kirill Kaprizov waiting, spinning, and nobody home. Suzuki got back and played him pretty good. Suzuki through center to Caulfield. Cole Caulfield. Stick handles, creating some space. Caulfield with it, in, shoots, and Gustafsson read it well. Kaprizov off the boards, intercepted by Hudson. Lane Hudson hits the trailer. Slafkovsky wrist shot right on, and again Gustafsson getting a little busier, and he'll squeeze and hold. 1:07 to go in the offsetting minors.
So, see Slafkovsky's face there? They said that's an awful shot. He's not happy with the release, but Hudson makes it happen by stepping up on the long outlet pass. He's not going to back up. He's going to trust his reads to pick them off, playing center field. There he goes, and it sets up this chance for Slafkovsky off the bench. This is a great scoring chance. But give Gustafsson credit. He is making these saves look very simple on shots that are coming from dangerous locations.
Looking for his 8th win of the season. He's got good numbers. Goals against, save percentage, top 10 in the NHL. And goals against average, him and Marc-Andre Fleury top 5 as well, as Johansson driving play around the net. Johansson, he'll get it back. Chisholm for Spurgeon. Marco Rossi didn't like what he saw, so he'll take play to center ice. Here's the captain, Jared Spurgeon, around Doc. Spurgeon, Rossi, he'll curl. Johansson thought about the shot, he'll hand it off again. Spurgeon across, one-time drive, Montembeault, a good save as they worked it around, and Chisholm let it rip. Struble the other way, and then a high stick. He got Spurgeon in the face.
You'd say give it to him, with just 10 seconds left. Maybe you're better off just letting the clock wind down and take the full 2-minute power play.
Rossi trying to get away from Doc. He'll drop it off, so delayed penalty. You can see, obviously, extra attacker out, and Kaprizov lining up the wheels, lost it at center. Montreal will touch up, and the Minnesota Wild on the power play.
Looks like it's going to be a 4. If I'm reading Tom Chmielewski's sign language properly.
Now that one was a no-doter.
47, 4-minute double minor, high sticking.
Struble trying to lift the stick, missed, and obviously did some damage on the high stick to Jared Spurgeon. Good feet by Spurgeon, and then oof, that hurts. And so a real chance here for Minnesota. 4-minute power play. And Struble will head to the box, and some pressure on the penalty kill to keep Montreal in this game. The game feels, oh boy, a lot of work here to clean off all the blood that was scraped as Spurgeon was leaving the ice at this point. But this game feels like Montreal can't afford to give up a second goal. The chance of them getting 2 before the buzzer seem remote. So have to be clean on the penalty kill.
One shorthanded goal on the season for Montreal from Yoel Armia.
That would be timely.
Matt Boldy leads the team, 4 power play goals early on in the season. Last year, no surprise, it was Kaprizov. He had 19 on the power play. That was tied for 3rd in the NHL as Boldy lines up to take the draw. He's out. Johansson comes in. And Jake Evans wins another one shorthanded. He's top 5 in the NHL in shorthanded face-off wins is Jake Evans.
That is great value, because now you Only 30 seconds before they get set up again.
Kaprizov. And yeah, offside. Charged as Hartman got in a little early. Well, 999 career points until this. Draisaitl, McDavid, back of the net, 1,000 points in his NHL career.
Of course.
Even he, there's Dad, awesome.
Never
Very
a
cool
doubt.
stuff.
Empty the bench. You might have to empty it again when he gets to 2,000.
Unbelievable, Connor McDavid. Not like we're surprised or anything, but cool stuff.
4th fastest all time.
Here's Boldy. What a move. Cutting in. Boldy. Kaprizov and the glove rebound off the side of the net as Boldy and Kaprizov nearly click. Armia on his stick. Wow, Armia. 2 guys go down. Joel Armia will flip the space all the way to Gustafsson. Fans wanted a call. None coming. Kaprizov. Good stick. Josh Anderson. He's with Evans. Josh Anderson shorthanded. He'll protect the puck. Anderson still with it, and alertly will kill off some more time. He goes back to Goulet. Goulet. Heads up. Even Marc-Andre Fleury's glove can't save that one. And unfortunately, it'll come all the way down the ice, I believe, in Montreal territory.
Did not go over the glass, though. Not going to be a delay a game penalty as Matt Boldy's asking for it. Matt Boldy goes one against everyone. So often the penalty killers assume you're going to pass the puck, and Mike Matheson takes a bad route at Boldy, dances him. That's a tremendous save by Montembeault with the quick glove. As he makes that save, and then it's Keystone Cops for a while bowling all over each other around Armia.
Anderson, not a little bit of room, but Rossi is back. Marco Rossi. Wild will try set things up here. 2:43 to go. In the penalty to Struble. He's in the box. Matheson. Checked by Gaudreau. Wild control. Spurgeon drops it off. Foligno does a curl. Spurgeon back for Foligno. Next point for him will be 300 in his career. Rossi. Rossi back up top. Rossi shoots, and that's into the glove.
Such a soft shot from Marco Rossi. It's not what he was trying to do. They worked it around to get him some space, but a wrist shot at that pace has to have screens and traffic in front, or else Montembeault will make that save 100 times out of 100 to get the whistle. And he does just that. Although now a chance to switch it up and get the #1 unit back out there.
Boldy, the win. Faber. Kaprizov. They'll fire it in. Johansson in the corner, lost it momentarily. Works it back around the boards. Kaprizov. Kaprizov shoots, tip in front, and a good stop again. Montembeault. Boldy off the boards, but it hopped to Armia, and he's able to clear that down the ice. Kaprizov, the pass from Gustafsson. Kaprizov, drop pass Boldy. Boldy over the blue line, still with it. Faber around the boards, Kaprizov there. He'll zip it across. Hartman. Ryan Hartman for Matt Boldy. Faber, Boldy, waiting, shooting the tip. Oh, and it was a good tip, but Montembeault read it pretty well. Able to keep that out. The tip from Johansson. Dvorak shorthanded with Arbor Jack-Eye, and the pass just behind him. Dvorak towards the net, and Gustafsson ready. Kaprizov beats the right side. He'll go to the net. Boldy curls around, looks at options. Brock Faber at the line for Boldy. 1 minute remaining. And all the way down the ice, Faber couldn't get there. He's going to call for a change.
So far, so good. 3 of the 4 minutes killed off for Montreal. Have a chance to stay in this game. 1 minute left.
Marco Rossi shoots it in for the Wild. In comes Foligno. He'll leave. Across, Gaudreau thought about the one-timer, gets it back. Gaudreau walks it in, shoots, and to stop Montembeault, he tried to tuck it in high, short side.
Spurgeon back on the ice with the puck.
Spurgeon winds up, and that was deflected and just wide. Rossi. Spurgeon. Rossi. Waits, shoots. Good block, Savard. Rossi gets it back. Spurgeon. Rossi. Touch pass. Spurgeon at the line again. 5 seconds left. Rossi in, shoots, score! What a snipe! Power play goal, Marco Rossi's 5th of the season, and it's 2-0 Minnesota.
This time, Rossi gets himself into a scoring area before he lets his shot go. He doesn't stay stationary outside. He takes the puck, attacks the middle of the ice, and able to drag it and put a little bit more on that. And he's got the screen of Savard to get around to bother Montembeault, and a really nice release. Well inside the top of the circle, Savard got pinched a little deep. Top forward wasn't there to support. And it took a long time, but Minnesota got that all-important second goal.
A little bit of insurance, just 4 seconds remaining on that 4-minute penalty to Jayden Struble as they pop in a power play goal. Trying to extend their home winning streak against Montreal to 11 games.
And the penalty coming up now to Minnesota.
Gouli got clipped, lost his stick, and now extra attacker out for Montreal. So can the Habs respond? Hudson will drop it back. Slavkovsky will curl around and try to set things up. Here's Matheson. Kirby Dach shoots it in. Suzuki in the corner. Caulfield. And Caulfield was checked. Touched by Faber. And the Montreal Canadiens now will try and answer on the power play. Boldy opened up the scoring, and then Rossi, a power play goal with 4 seconds left in the penalty. It's 2-0 Minnesota Wild. Time now for the electrifying save of the game, brought to you by the Polestar 2. Experience pure electric performance for yourself.
Philip Gustafson hasn't had too much to do, but this was a really good one on Lane Hudson, looking for his first ever goal. Rings it off the blocker, as Gustafson has been clean, 16 up, 16 down for the Wild goaltender so far.
But Montreal, a chance here on the power play again. Penalty kill's been perfect tonight, but a good face-off win. Back to Matheson. Matheson shoots, and he whistled one high and missed the mark. He'll race into the corner. Nick Suzuki. Cole Caulfield. Back for Suzuki. Matheson at the blue line for Montreal. Down by 2. Suzuki. Slavkovsky to the captain. Suzuki. Slavkovsky. Back for Suzuki. Matheson up top. Suzuki, some space. Waiting, shooting right on. Rebound there, and Bogosian cleans it up and
wires it into his own bench.
That bench has been hot, Mike. I mean, the Wild bench has been hot.
They're already down 2 men. They don't want any more As Gustafsson makes the save, leaves a rebound in front, but Minnesota, even on the penalty kill, does a good job of clearing that space out so that Gustafsson can make the saves and not worry about where the puck goes afterwards. I'd like to see somebody in Montreal right on the edge of the crease. Make him work to find the puck through you.
Suzuki can't dig it free. It's back to Middleton, high off the glass. Foligno there with Dach. Foligno trying to clear. Suzuki pleads his case, lost his stick, but the Habs control. Caulfield. Suzuki's got his stick back. Caulfield. Matheson.
Dach looking for a one-timer.
Matheson. Suzuki waiting, shooting, and he missed by a foot, and that'll come to center. Under 6 to play. 50 seconds left in the minor penalty. Kirby Dach tried that chip and chase right to Laco. Suzuki knocked it down. Matheson over the line. He'll hand it off. Kirby Dach. Backhand feeds Slafkovsky. Juraj Slafkovsky. Kirby Dach. 30 seconds left. Matheson waits. Caulfield in front. Had Suzuki. Good passing play, but he couldn't click.
It was there, stick was open, just didn't find its target.
Lane Hudson, 15 seconds of power play time to work with. Hudson over the line, little chip, and it's brought in offside by Montreal.
Montreal worked to get the possession, get the look they wanted to, and were just not able to connect. Suzuki has a stick wide open. He was sliding back, puck just a little bit in front of him. That close to probably the best chance that Montreal will have had all game.
Remaining seconds ticking down on the man advantage. Maybe one last push here on the power play. John Merrill back, and he'll send it down the ice. And a good penalty kill again from the Wild. Perfect on the PK tonight. In a 2-0 game. Bushmadinov centers. And only a Montreal Canadian there. Cleaned up by Gouli. Gallagher was pinned by Merrill. Gouli able to free it. He'll get it back, or the pass is more Armia to himself, but the Wild control, and they'll chip to the line. Gouli swats at it. Still jamming away. Montreal back on side as Armia trying to advance play. And finally, poked at the Montreal territory. Wild starting a much-needed change. Here's Hudson. Lane Hudson trying to dangle in, and he lost the puck as he got around Hartman. Kaprizov leads the way. What a drop pass, and the rocket from Hartman missed. Boldy pumps it back in. Boldy tries again in the corner, around the boards. Hartman chases after it. He'll take out Hudson, but Montreal has the puck.
Gonna get Hudson for a high stick here after the Hartman hit.
Hartman hit him, and then Hudson fought back, and now
Anderson going after Hartman for taking a good, healthy run at Hudson.
Tonight's Fab Performance Part is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
And not too much offense to be found in this game, but the most dangerous player has been Matt Boldy. He's found some open ice. He scored the first goal, 6 shots on net, and some pretty good one-on-one effort. You see why he's been such a pivotal part of the Wild's excellent start this year, and a chance to add to those totals as Minnesota goes to the power play. Not just the power play, but 2 of the remaining 3:39 potentially down a man for Montreal.
And right now, Boldy on pace for his 5th game-winning goal this season. That would lead the NHL, at least for now, as the Oilers and Draisaitl also playing tonight versus Nashville. Lane Hudson in the box. Power play time. Here's Boldy over the line. Kaprizov. He'll pick it up in stride. Took a whack from Savard. You can see him shaking his hand off after Savard slashed him. And he's still favoring that hand. Johansson centers. Boldy picks it up. Here's Boldy. Kaprizov hopped over his stick. And that allows Montreal to get it to center. Jake Evans there. Marcus Johansson picks it up. Johansson over the line. He'll walk it in. Off the boards, Kaprizov. Boldy. Boldy down low. Kaprizov, and the feed from Johansson off his stick. Here's Boldy again. 2:40 to go in the hockey game. Kaprizov behind the net, centering feed for Hartman. He lost it, allows David Savard to clear for Montreal. Unless a drastic change here, the Minnesota Wild will win 11 straight in this building versus Montreal. Foligno behind the net, couldn't get the backhand away. Good steal, Arber Xhekaj. Arber Xhekaj from his own zone, kills off some more time, gave it away to Rossi. Rossi skates it in. Marco Rossi. He'll drop it off. That shot blocked. Where is it? Dvorak didn't see it, but picked up by Arber Xhekaj, and he's on the move. Arber Xhekaj over the line. Waiting, shooting, and Gustafsson will squeeze. 17 seconds left in the minor penalty to Lane Hudson. Time now for the Molson big moments of the game.
And Minnesota clinging to a 1-goal lead, trying to find some insurance, and Marco Rossi does it on the power play. The very end of a 4-minute power play. Puts it over the shoulder of Montembeault to give Wild some breathing room in what has been a tight affair. Both teams not giving up very much at all. You must wonder here, I mean, 17 seconds, you can't pull the goalie yet, but you'd be thinking about it if you're Marty. It's been so hard to get in the offensive zone. Almost want to take the offensive zone face-off and play 5-on-5 down there for a little bit, and then get the guy out of the box to join them.
That would be Lane Hudson. Would be a good choice in this situation to try get Montreal back within 1. 17 seconds left in his minor penalty. In comes Rossi against the captain. Suzuki to Doc, but Lacko able to chip it away, and he's got some speed up that right side. Lacko stops, waits, and it bounced around in the skates of Suzuki. He's got the puck. Lane Hudson ready to come out, and now Montembeault, he's going to go as well. Hudson out, Montembeault to the bench, extra attacker out. Here's Suzuki over the line. He'll hand it off. Caulfield off the boards. Slavkovsky, Caulfield, Matheson. Lane Hudson. Back for Matheson. Caulfield. Far circle. Matheson. Thought about it. Matheson. Hudson. For Caulfield down low. Cole Caulfield. They continue to maneuver. Matheson, one-timer, and that one stung Lacko. Hit him in the leg.
You need 2 here, so you can't waste too much time. Got to get it to the net.
1:04 to go in the game. Net empty Montreal. Hudson. Matheson, final minute. Seam pass. Rossi got his stick in the way, but the Habs control. Hudson, Matheson. Waiting, still with it. Mike Matheson curls around. Back up for Lane Hudson. Matheson. Up top, Suzuki fires, and no rebound with Slavkovsky and Doc in front. Good save, Gustafsson.
It's good save, that's good defense. Montreal knows they're trying to find a seam, they're trying to find a one-timer, they're trying to find traffic, and even up 6-on-5, it was hard to do so. So Marty will take a timeout here as Suzuki pops out. But Gustafsson's got a clean look. Kirby Dach's around the front of the net, but in the eye line is where you need to be to make it a hard save.
Molson Canadiens Hockey on TSN is brought to you by Molson. Whether it's Canadian, Ultra, Export, or XL, there's a Molson with your name on it.
Welcome back to the State of Hockey, XL Energy Center, 43.6 to go. Timeout for Montreal, a 2-0 lead for the Minnesota Wild.
So does Marty have 2 goals in 44 seconds up on the board? If so, I'd like to see it. It has to start with a face-off win, of course. And then you got to get the puck back to your point. Lane Hutson's on the right side, Cole Caulfield's on the left side. You're going to wheel it for a one-timer and then just get to the front of the net, crash and bang.
Suzuki digs in, puck available. Matheson drops it off around the boards. Picked up by Hudson. Caulfield, one-timer, and he missed. And diving Matheson couldn't keep it alive. Hudson's got to race back, and Kaprizov's on him. Lane Hudson dishes away from Kaprizov. 25 seconds left. Gaudreau. Kaprizov in front, and his skates scores. Kirill Kaprizov, he'll seal it, and it's 3-0 Wild. 30th point on the season, and he is Hart Trophy quality here in Minnesota.
And John Hines knows to get his top guys out there with an empty net. Kaprizov can make good plays with the puck as well. But down here in the corner, Gaudreau comes down and wins the battle on Caulfield, and then in front of the net, Kaprizov with 3 guys around him kicking at pucks. Well, he picks it to the back of the net. In a sense of his strength and edge work, even on an empty netter. And another 2-point game for Kaprizov.
Trying to chase down Nathan MacKinnon. 5 seconds left in this one. It is a tough building for the Montreal Canadiens as the Minnesota Wild have won 11 straight versus Montreal at XL Energy Center. And it's a 3-0 shutout, 19 saves for Philip Gustafsson.
Very workmanlike game for Minnesota. Excellent response to a loss against Chicago, a team that they think they should beat. They come out against Montreal and said, you know what? We're not going to give the Canadiens anything. No open ice, no odd man rushes, no second chance on rebounds, and they played a masterful defensive game. Gustafsson gets a shutout. He was good, but he didn't have to be that good as the team in front of him just grinded out the full 60 minutes, even down 2 players to get the 3-0 win.
Kaprizov now 13 points in 7 career games versus the Montreal Canadiens. He extends his point streak overall as well to 4 games, 9 points in those 4 games as number 97 continues to be red hot for the Wild. And Mike, it brings us to the Molson 3 stars.
Gustafsson gets a shutout. We're going to give him a 3rd star. Kaprizov, superstar in the league, even in a game where nothing goes on, he gets 2 points. And Matt Boldy, NHL best 5th game-winning goal and another good performance. The top guys were the top guys for the Wild tonight.
Minnesota Wild improved to 17-1 in the last 18 meetings versus the Montreal Canadiens. They'll do it one more time back at the Bell Center in January, their first of 2 meetings as the Montreal Canadiens end their 4-game road trip. Unable to get the W here. They'll return home and take on Columbus Saturday night. Our next game, Utah. Our first look at Utah versus Montreal at the Bell Center, 7 Eastern time on Molson Canadiens Hockey on TSN. In the meantime, thanks for joining our coverage here from the XL Energy Center. Glad you joined us, and good night from the State of Hockey in Minnesota.